Aloha, everyone. The GME hype came and went today. Boy, that was an ugly candle today based off the early earnings, which were horrible, and the offering. Look at the volume and look at the reversal. Not good. Now, what's kind of disappointing is that this played out exactly how I thought it would after this session here on Monday. I expected a doji candle, and you could get long about the doji candle high of the day for a push, but especially after the Green Day 32 was basically the key level that I was looking at to break. And that's because on an intraday basis, you can see that it was support here, resistance here. We broke it, basically held it. It came down to an intraday chart, but wow, what a move! That was amazing, amazing, great move. Unfortunately, did not participate. Was kind of always worried about what happened today. So big, big, big reversal. Another thing I wanted to show everybody was CLEU. So this one was in play today on Friday, back-to-back volume truncation days. This was the volume truncation day on Wednesday. Look at what the volume does to the previous volume bars in the middle. Look at how BOP on the bottom panel goes to max green. The very next day, the same thing. Now, I unfortunately did not play this. Look at the line. The line was posted on this chart on Thursday. So this was the move on Wednesday. Then look on Thursday, the volume bar truncates the Wednesday bar, back-to-back volume truncation max green bop days. You guys know what we do. I put the high of the day as the trigger price, but you guys know that I'm not around to day trade in the morning, and it worked out perfectly today. Now, the problem is, why wasn't this a swing then? Why didn't I take it? If it was back-to-back volume truncation days. Can anybody tell me why? I'll tell you why. There was actually two reasons why. The downtrending 200 SMA, it did not close above it with that intraday wick reversal. Now, if you look, we're going to go back and review the last time that I don't know why, but this ticker's like in my memory bank. That's why, because it worked out so well. We got the back-to-back volume truncations. We were below the 200 SMA, but look at where we closed in that candle before we had that big, massive move higher. So if we fast forward to CLEU, intraday, it was in play once it got above, once you're opening above the close 202, you know it's strong, and now that high day is in play, 236. What I would have loved to have seen is a weak open red to green move. You get long above 202, and then you get that move to 320. It's still in play on Monday. If you get a weak open on Monday, it's a buy above 320, risking the lows of the day, whatever they are in the morning. If it opens above 320, the trigger is 347 for a hopeful move to 4, then 5. That's about where I expect this to end if it does end. So with that out of the way, with those two, basically the two main movers I wanted to talk about on from Friday, the market overall is healthy. I'm not fighting this uptrend, but we have a lot of macro events next week. It kind of also at the same time looks vulnerable. So if you look at the bottom panel, you can see the relative strength line of the SMH. This is what I want to see in the stocks that I get long. This is also what I would like to see in the IWM for me to trust all my charts and to go heavy into positions. What does the IWM relative strength show? This is not a broad market rally. I'm curious to what the RSP, you look at the RSP, the equal weighted S&P 500. Guys, the S&P 500 is at all-time highs with less than 50% of its holdings above the 50 SMA. I think it's like at 47% right now. So 47% of the S&P 500 is below the 50 SMA while the SPY is at new highs. That's not healthy. So if the big guys start cracking, we've got quote quote problems. But remember, I welcome any pullback. I'm looking for a pullback that'll last longer than 1 month and or will get below the 100 simple moving average that you don't see on the screen. And with the IWM, the RSP looking like it does, did you see the reversal in FFTY? This was a great bounce off the 21 EMA, not shown on these charts, and it reversed it basically. 2760 closed, the open was 2759, so it's a complete wash basically in those three sessions. So we're just not seeing strength. The DIA relative strength line also shows it all. So I'm going to be honest with you guys, unless it's a semiconductor related stock or it starts with the tickers NVDA, I probably am not going to love anything or load up in any one position. Right now, it's all about that lower relative strength lines. That's what you want to see. And right now, with everything that I go long, I'm modulating accordingly to what the composite rating is, what the earnings per share rating is, what the current sales quarter is. What I want sales growth over 25% for me to really love anything. And then they have to beat on the top and bottom line in the most recent earnings report. So, if we're looking at all that this evening, there's only one stock that qualifies as a high quality long position. ERJ has a 99 composite rating. They beat on the bottom and top line and have sales growth of 25%. So this qualifies. Now, is its technical setup the best? No, it's not the best. And in fact, another thing that's not shown on this chart, the TTM trend momentum it's still under a slingshot. It has not actually slingshotted. So it's below the zero line, and it's still the TTM trend momentum histogram is still going lower slowly. So it's not lined up. Also, is the balance of power, you know, higher than this level here? Is the relative strength line at new levels, new highs here as it pulls back? No. But this is a great pattern. I'm already long ERJ. I want to add to my position. If it can move above 29.45, I'll be calculating my size and risking to this low. And because not everything is lined up, I won't be going huge into this position. Actually, we'll take a look at my toss charts at the end of the video to show you how it's not completely lined up across the board. I don't know if I'll have the T-Team trend momentum on there. I'll add it up. But also, other ideas. DKS has a 90 composite. They beat on the bottom and top line. It does not have sales growth above 25%. It's like a 20%. Um, I would like to add to my position that I recently added to. It's a little bit underwater here. I want to get long above 219.33. I'll be calculating my size from the 50 SMA, but this will be a hard stop right here. And remember, right now, guys, if it doesn't move higher immediately, I start moving my final stop. So CRWD went long this leader after this earnings day, but what did it do? It doji spun out on me on this day. So where's my final stop? 1 cent below this low. Now CRWD is holding in there, but guys, I'm not going to lose money in this tape because everything is not aligned, even in the leaders. If it, like I said, if it doesn't start with NVIDIA, I don't love it. So DKS is a new long with those parameters. Also, SMAR. SMAR has a 90 composite rating, or excuse me, an 89 composite rating. Beat on top and bottom line the session before. Does not have over 25% sales growth, but this is an inside bullish. You can call it hammer, doji candle, whatever you want to call it. It basically looks like a liquidity trap to me, and that the stock wants to go higher. I want to get long above the high of the day, risking to this low. I'll also be calculating my size from that low. I may use the 200 SMA, not sure. I just know that I'm not going to go big in any of these. And look at the relative strength line. Yeah, nice recently, but is it going from the lower left to the upper right on SMAR? No. Is it on DKS? Yes. Is it on ERJ? Yes. Keep that in mind. CRH, I like this setup here. I like the max green bop. I like that volume truncation day. It's holding in here, but it's noisy, but there's wicks off the lows. I would like to get long above the high of the day, risking to these lows. Don't know where I need to calculate my size from, because if I do it from this low, there's a very high odd and high probability in this market it's going to trigger, fill, and fail before I can even get aggressive with my stops. Now, if you're watching it intraday on Monday morning, if it triggers you in, whatever that Monday low a day is, that would be 50% of your stops with your final stop here. And that's probably the proper way to trade it. I probably will have to go with calculating my size from even this low, or golly, yeah, it's splitting hair. So probably all the way here. And it's not a logical or rational level. But once again, let's check the relative strength line. Not lined up, are we? Okay. And then Snapchat, nice earnings winner, beat on the top and bottom line, 90 composite rating. It has sales over 20%, but it's not over 25%. That being said, very nice candle over candle, pocket pivot point signal today. Got a slingshot and bop. Want to get long above the high of the day. Calculating my size probably from this low. Going to have a final stop here. And the only reason why I'm pulling it back is we had that session last Friday. I expected great things to happen, and immediately on Monday we were told, nope, not going to have great things happen. So this is where we're at. So I'm going to end this video lesson looking at the Thinkorswim charts with TSV and that tickets indicator. All right, so we'll start it off with ERJ. You can see ERG. Hey, ERJ. Hey, we're above the zero line, but are we stair-stepping higher above the zero line? So we get above the zero line here, we're stair-stepping higher. Look what ERJ does. Here, we're above the zero line, not stair-stepping higher, and the time segment volume is also red, not green. Red is stop. So once again, we're not completely lined up. We look at DKS. Hey, we're stair-stepping higher. We're below the zero line, but this has got a better look to it with TSV confirming that relative strength line is strong. Higher probability set up here without a doubt. Let's look at CRH. CRH, nope, below the zero line, stair stepping down, and red TSV. So like I said, the probability of this one triggering and failing is high. Can't load up on it. SMAR, we're stair stepping higher. We're above the zero line. We've got green time segment volume. If anything's going to work, it's probably going to be this one. But remember that relative strength line. It's not a leader. Snapchat, we're at least above the zero line. We're pulling back, and we're red on TSV, so we're not lined up. So as you can clearly see, the best one from this evening is ERJ, and we're not lined up. Now let's look at the rest of the market. IWM, red and red below the zero, confirming what our analysis is. And the SPY, we're still below the zero line, but we are stair-stepping higher. Like I said, if it's SMH and if it's NVIDIA, I'm cool. The rest of the market, not so much.